Hey guys, today we have a special guest on the podcast. He is a big Seattle Seahawks fan, and on YouTube his name is Rooftop Sports, and here he is.
Here I am, and go Hawks.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank you for doing this. It means a lot to me to thank you so much. And the first question is, how did you become a Seahawks fan?
I guess I became a Seahawks fan. Like it was through the 2000. I guess it was 2003 when they moved to their, or 2002 when they moved to their new stadium. So I guess that got my attention. So I started watching little games there and there.
Okay.
And then it was when they started to be more of a contender beat with Sean Alexander and Matt Hasselbeck, and then 2005 with the Super Bowl run, where unfortunately the Seahawks did lose that Super Bowl to the Steelers with arguably referee controversy. But I'm actually one of the few fans that when I watched the game again 6 years later, I was like, wait, we actually didn't play that good. Now the refs now Bill Levy was terrible, but I don't think it was Bill Levy's fault that Josh Brown missed 3 field goals and Jeremy Stevens, their tight end, dropped like several passes, which could have been game changers. So but then what really got me into it was when the Seahawks moved on from Matt Hasselbeck, and then they decided to go with this new young team with cores like Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Marshawn Lynch, Cam Chancellor, KJ Wright, Red Bryant. Like no one could have known that this team was going to be a dominant defensive force. So I pretty much got in at the right time, right before Russell Wilson became Russell Wilson. So that's where it all started. And so basically it was ironically when they moved on from Matt Hasselbeck, because I was actually excited for the rebuild while everyone else was kind of devastated.
Well, you guys did go to another Super Bowl.
Yes, went to 2 Super Bowls, and the other one I don't speak of much because I think you have an idea why I don't speak of that other Super Bowl. But the Broncos Super Bowl, yeah, you can ask me everything about that, but the Patriots Super Bowl, no thanks. I don't want to talk about it because they didn't give the ball to this guy.
You know what? That was my next question I was going to ask you. Why do you think Pete Carroll did not hand the ball off to Marshawn?
He wanted to stop the clock, and he tried to outsmart the Patriots defense. Now, throwing it was fine, but the thing is, he threw to a guy named Ricardo Lockett, who's known for just going 50 yards deep. He's not known for a guy that you throw short passes to. Now, had it been thrown to Doug Baldwin, even in that same situation, I'd have been like, okay, fine. At least you went towards the right guy.
Yeah.
But you went to Ricardo Lockett out of all players who doesn't even run routes. Now, I can't say too much because he unfortunately had a career-ending injury the next season against the Cowboys when he had that huge hit. I think his name was Sean May, if that's his name, if I recall.
Okay. Man, I have bad memories of the Seahawks playing against my Packers.
Oh, yes. Thanks for... Yep, I do appreciate that, where it was weird because Seahawks threw like 4 interceptions and we thought the game was over, but then Russell Wilson to Jermaine Kearse happened by accident.
Yep. And also in the NFC Championship game, we should have had that game won, but our special teams.
No, yeah, you guys should have won. Yeah, because what's his name? Brandon Bodstick or something?
Yeah, Bodstick.
He couldn't make that catch at what's that called? The onside kick. And then the funnier part was Russell Wilson scored a touchdown, and one of your Packers guys like, "Hey, nice touchdown, Russell Wilson," because he thought the game was over.
Yeah, me too. I thought, but on the onside kick, he never should have went up for the ball. It was going to Jordan Nelson.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, bad memories of that game. So now you guys lost Geno Smith, but you got Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah, we do. And before we get into that, I'm looking up the Ricardo Lockett hit. It was actually Cowboys safety Jeff Heath that caused the career-ending injury, not Sean May. Sean May was for somebody else. My bad.
Okay.
But now let's get to Geno Smith and Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Do you see any drop-off from Geno to Sam?
It's hard to say, right? Because what Geno Smith had, he had a good wide receiver in DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Now don't get me wrong, he was a boomer bust guy. There was one game where he's just completely on and locked in. And then there's just other games where he's just completely lost and he's so focused on more of his hairdo than his actual game sometimes. And then you had Tyler Lockett. He had Will Dissly at some point. He had a functioning running back sometimes. But now Sam Darnold's coming into a situation where it's unclear if the offensive line is getting any better.
Yeah.
And Cooper Kupp, I don't know if he's going to play at that level that he once did with the Rams.
Ooh,
and Jackson Smith and Jigba, he tends to drop passes.
Yes, he does.
So I'm not sure. And don't forget, with the situation Sam Darnold's coming from, he had Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson. He had those weapons to throw to. But for the Seahawks, he has maybe Jackson Smith and Jigba and maybe Cooper Kupp. That's it. So it's going to be quite an adjustment. Now, the Seahawks, don't get me wrong, they did get a nice contract on him. It was a very team-friendly contract, so they don't really have much to lose with it. I think this is the year where they're going to try to see if they can get to the next level with Sam Darnold. I hope I didn't say Sam Howell. I'm pretty sure I said Darnold. But yeah, and the other thing I do like with the Seahawks is that they did draft another quarterback in Jalen. So in case Sam Darnold doesn't work out, then maybe Jalen can have that chance. Maybe it could be that situation where when the Seahawks signed Matt Flynn after he had that insane 6-touchdown game against the Lions, which was the reason why the Seahawks gave him that pretty substantial contract.
Yeah, that was a huge contract.
But then Russell Wilson happened, and the rest was history. So maybe this Jalen Milroe thing could be another Russell Wilson 2.0.
That's a far stretch, but yeah. But did you agree with the organization when they traded away DK?
I did not, because it was like, but now there were issues with DK regarding his contract.
Yeah.
So there was that. That's why they did it. But it was a strange timing when they traded away DK Metcalf and then they just brought in Sam Darnold. But now it's like, who is Sam Darnold going to throw to other than Jackson Smith and Jigba? And it's not like the Seahawks tight end core is not anything special either.
I mean, did you agree with them releasing Tyler Lockett also?
I thought it was maybe time because it looks like Tyler Lockett was pretty much over the hill. And the other thing I've noticed about Tyler Lockett is he has been more focused in his real estate career. So I've also looked at that. He's actually a real estate agent in Washington. I think he also just got his license in Texas. So I think he has long-term career goals with real estate, and right now football is just funding his business for now. Yeah. So I guess I thought it was time for him to go because I thought there was a part where the Seahawks had to get younger on that, and I think at some point they're really gonna have to get younger because I thought they were doing that with Russell Wilson, but it seems like they just wanted to get out of Russell Wilson's albatross of a contract.
Yeah, they did.
They got out of that. They tried to get some draft picks out of it. But it still looks like they were like kind of trying to rebuild, but they were also kind of trying to compete.
So, in your opinion, what position is the weakest on the Seahawks?
I would have to say it's the offensive line, and top three, I would say offensive line, maybe the wide receivers. Now, if Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba work out, then it's a strength. Mm-hmm. But always will be that offensive line because the offensive line couldn't give Geno Smith enough time. Now, granted, I was not really the biggest Geno Smith fan myself.
Yeah.
But the offensive line didn't really help either. And the running back core I'm really concerned of because all we've got right now is Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah. So those are your two starting running backs, right?
I think so. I'm looking at the depth chart. Yeah, right now it says Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, Kenny McIntosh, and Damian Martinez. But and I think Martinez was a 7th-round pick, so it's not like the Seahawks running back situation is getting any better, especially when you're only investing into a 7th-round pick into a running back. He's probably going to be more of your preseason guy.
Mm-hmm. So after Cooper Kupp and JSN, is it a big drop off from the other receivers that you guys have on the roster right now?
I feel it is. At least Njigba still has potential. Like, he was one of the top receivers.
Yeah.
But the question is Cooper Kupp going to be any better? That is the other question that begs. And Seahawks also for wide receiver, they have Torrey Horton, who they got, John Reese Plumlee. I'm just reading the depth chart, and Jake Bobo. So there's going to be a lot of questions on that wide receiver, unless your names are Jackson Smith and Jigba and Cooper Kupp. But Cooper Kupp he's already at that age where he's 32, and usually when you're around your 30s, that's when your play tends to go down.
Yep, it is. So if you can rank the division, where would you put the Seahawks?
Let me see what. So it's got the Rams, the Cardinals, 49ers, and the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Whew, that's tough. I think I'm still going to say the Rams own that division. It looks like the 49ers are not in great shape.
No.
So I would say Seahawks are probably in more of the 2 or 3 kind of team. I don't see them as a divisional. I don't see them as a team winning division. Now, they did improve on defense last season, but I don't know. But the offense still has lots of questions.
A lot of work to do. So, next question is, how did you get started in this podcast?
So it was really based on the Seattle Mariners, as I'm a huge Mariners fan. I also cover some Seahawks and some Seattle Supersonics, which unfortunately the Thunder, the former Sonics, they're probably going to win the NBA championship. Yeah. So unfortunately, us Seattle fans are going to break the internet about it. But yeah, it started on Mariners because there's a lot of uncovered history I felt about the Mariners that I needed to cover. Like if you know about the Mariners, they had their magical run in the 90s with Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, but then they found a way to mess that whole thing up. And there were videos that didn't, there was a lot of things that wasn't even covered. Like, you won't even see YouTube videos of how the Mariners core just completely fell apart. Like, people said that, that was a good team, but they just couldn't win. But they never explained why. And I was actually one of those few that actually did make some videos explaining how that entire 90s core just completely fell apart.
Okay.
So I wanted to make a video too. I wanted to make videos and cover Mariners baseball to reveal the truth of the Mariners. And also on a regular basis, I do my live streaming where I do play-by-play for the Seattle Mariners. And I also even do it for the Seahawks.
Okay. Nice. So while we're on the NBA, I think I heard the commissioner of the NBA said they might bring basketball back to Seattle.
Yes, he's been saying that. He's been saying that for years. But the thing is, the way I see it, actions speak louder than words. He can say everything that he wants to, but if he can't get the owners to agree, because the biggest concern that he is probably hearing is talent dilution, which I don't buy one bit. I think that's just a bunch of hogwash. But the thing is, if Adam Silver can't back up his talk, then I think he's just wasting his time. And honestly, as much as I'm disappointed that David Stern was a part of the Sonics leaving Seattle, I honestly rather deal with him because at least he was very honest. At least he was about, expansion is never going to happen. Yeah, just get over it. If you want a team, well, you better take a team, and you have to let me approve it. That's what he basically said. Which honestly, I respect that more than Adam Silver's like, oh yeah, Seattle is they're a great Seattle market. But right now, we just got to go over it and say, like, no, just make a firm decision. Make it happen now. And plus, if Oklahoma wins the NBA Finals, if they win the championship by today, my question is an expansion team included in that package?
But what would you think if it does happen?
If it happens, which I don't want to get too much into it, to be honest, but if it does happen, I mean, I will be busting up a lot more content on the Sonics, get all Sonics fans ready, and myself. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of catching up to do with Seattle basketball, which I have been doing a little bit. Okay. So that's the plan for myself. And also, I'll be looking forward to how they rebuild their team. And if I'm the Seattle Supersonics, the new Sonics team, the first thing you got to do is get Oklahoma's general manager, Sam Presti. Get him out of Oklahoma, bring him back to Seattle, and have him do his amazing rebuild here so we can do it quickly so that Oklahoma would be like, oh, shoot, they took something from us too.
Oh, man. I love it. And the last question is, do you have any advice for other YouTubers that want to do something like this? Like what we do?
What I would say is always have a solid plan. Always have some kind of a consistent schedule with it, which unfortunately I don't follow it greatly myself because I have like 3 other jobs. So I'm like, so it's like a miracle that I even make time to even do this. Like, I feel like it's a huge privilege that I'm able to do it. But also find your niche, be very consistent, throw out those YouTube shorts, go on live streaming, connect with your fans the best you possibly can, and also have really good writing, especially for your long form videos. Like, you can have the best computer, the best editing software, best special effects, but if you don't have the writing, your video goes in the toilet. So maybe down the road, maybe work with someone else too that can help share ideas with you. Like, I mostly do this thing alone, so it's been a lot to learn. So a lot of advice is, but also before you even start YouTube, make videos before you even post it too. So at least you know you have the consistency going and you can hit the ground running. Yeah. And all I can say is it is not easy. And also, and I'm going all over the place, know what you want to do, whether you want to make long form content or if you want to just do podcasting. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do with YouTube, but also commit to it. Because for me, it's been a lot of experimentation. Like, okay, do I do podcasting or do I do long form videos? Do I do mostly shorts or do I do live streaming? Mm-hmm. And I do a lot of things. Like, I do Mariners baseball, Sonics basketball, Seahawks football. I even do content for my own softball because I am a softball player myself. And I have some videos where I even had a video of myself reacting to when my friends from my Special Olympics basketball team score.
Wow, okay, nice. Anyway, is there anything that you want to say to the audience before we end it?
Well, I guess I would say is go Hawks, bring back our Sonics, and also I just want to say, let me read this correctly, Cerebral Palsy Gamer. I just want to say I salute you for doing this YouTube, because not everyone does it. It's not an easy thing to do. So I love what you're doing, and I want you to keep moving forward with it and keep going at it. Like, keep grinding. Like, don't ever give up, no matter what the numbers say.
Man, you know what? I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on the show as well.
Oh, anytime you want to come back, you're more welcome to come back.
Yeah, I can see, like, during football season, I can see us doing some podcasts there and there. So
yeah,
if the Seahawks, like, if they lose a game, then I'll be like, hey, I want to come on your show. I want to tell you how angry I am, so I could give you some entertainment. Fans.
I would love to have you on.
How long have you been doing this YouTube channel?
I started back in 2014, but mostly I would do like video game playthroughs, like Madden, football, and that stuff. But I really got into live streaming the games when the COVID
happened, yeah.
And then from then on, I've been doing it since, and it's getting attraction, but it went slow and slow.
Yeah, we'll just keep grinding because whatever you did, it did put you in a great position to interview with Tom Grossi, which, if you've heard of the Grossi raid, my channel has been Grossi rated 3 times.
Oh, okay.
So if you got Tom Grossi on your show, don't stop. Like, if you can get those personalities, because if you've heard of Urinating Tree, I got him on my show before a couple times.
Well, me, I got I had Tom on the show first. I had Brandon Perna come on. I had Urinating Tree come on twice.
Yeah, they're all amazing people. Like I love what they do.
Guys. But the only guy that I could not get a hold is Scooter.
Oh, Scooter McKruger.
Yeah, he's the only guy.
Yeah. And the only one I've gotten is Urinating Tree.
And all the other guys are trying to get it onto my show. So I'm hoping that he will come on soon, but you know. But yeah, and me, I got rated by Grossi about 4 times already.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, personally, like for me, as much as I enjoy the Grossi raids, the only problem I have with it is it just feels unartificial of how I grow my channel, because there's days where I have like 2 subscribers, 1 subscriber, and the next day, like because of Grossi, I get like 50 subscribers.
Yeah.
And the thing is like the question is, are all those 50 people going to watch it? Because if they're not watching it, then it's like don't even subscribe if you're not going to watch it, because it's going to hurt my channel when I get a bunch of unartificial.
Yeah.
Basically, it's almost like having bots. Now they're real people, sure. But the thing is, if they're going to subscribe, then they should watch my channel, which is why I do feel a little bit more pressured though. Like when I get Grossi rated, and I get all these random subs, random views, and it's okay, now I have to like up my game and I have to tell them exactly who I am. Like the first time I got it, I was just so shocked that actually the first time I got Grossi rated, I actually stepped out to eat some dinner, and then when I came back, I see all these flood of texting, like all these chats saying I got Grossi rated. I was like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's Tom Grossi. Oh, he rated me. And I'm like, okay. But I missed that window where I got the opportunity to connect with people. Mm-hmm. Now, the second time he did it, I was there, I was ready. And by the time he started rating, I was like, okay, I'm Rooftop Sports. This is my YouTube channel. Please keep watching.
But I did get to meet Tom in real life also.
Oh yeah, what's he like? He must be an amazing person.
Oh, he's a great person. The best person you ever meet in your life. He is so nice.
Maybe someday I'll meet him with my Matt Hasselbeck jersey, because Matt Hasselbeck used to play with the Green Bay Packers behind Brett Favre.
Yeah, behind Brett Favre.